Silaro imaklo sikuro naman inyo nga nakanuliwat dari nga ni amaru tukusinang ninyo nga nakanuli nga rin mga tamat-tumasilaw asit sa padeyo amaru makwa nunami kataksuyo pirsiwad dayo tamakwa pilaran ng inyo piyaw luni. Sukari yumik inu silaranak amaru katimayilaranak tamakwa asit siwad dayang mata. Kaya manang may tamakwa inyo kaya may atokanganik amaru ang unasong niyang atok tawag tumi.
Taken together, these pressures are creating challenges for Inuit and Northerners to travel safely on the land. And when we say land, it includes water and ice.
For years, we have been hearing that weather, water, ice, and climate information and services are not easy to access, understand, or use in many Inuit communities. So our diverse team of Inuit, Northern, and Southern researchers came together in a coordinated approach to community-based research in order to better understand what kinds of environmental information community members do use to make safe travel decisions.
The goal of our project is to improve the relevance and usefulness of information, as well as how it is shared in Northern communities.
To accomplish this goal, we developed a survey with input from all project team members, as well as national and regional service providers, Inuit organizations, and territorial governments, in order to get feedback from land users across Inuit Nunavut.
We follow the ArcticNet research framework because this methodology was developed by Nunavut. It contributes to community research capacity and aims to ensure balance in cross-cultural research by addressing inequities and disrespect that Inuit have experienced with research in the past.
So in our work with the framework, we look at building relationships, engaging partners, building a shared understanding of terminology and approaches. We collect data around lived experiences and narratives and then we look to validate and build consensus around the information that has been collected.
The survey was designed to get a range of experiences from Nunavut who travel on the land, water, and ice for different reasons, different lengths of time, and in all seasons.
Yeah, I was hoping that people would contribute to this survey because it could start saving lives and it could have a better service for us.
In October 2021, the Inuit Society hosted a 4-day collaborative analysis workshop in Arcticnet, bringing together 9 local research coordinators from 5 communities, including Arcticnet, Johaven, Iqaluit, Pond Inlet, and Sanikiluaq, along with elder mentors, project coordinators, young hunters, and students.
Preliminary results from these 5 communities are the focus of this presentation. In total, 260 surveys were completed by 13 local research coordinators working with community members in their home communities. How Nunavut use environmental information depends on how and when they're traveling on the land. For example, all Mitimetalingmute respondents use snow machines, and boats are also very common, while in Arcticnet, travel by ATV is more common.
We also wanted to understand the distance Nunavut are traveling outside of their home community. For each community, we have a map showing the total travel indicated by all respondents, often extending over 400 kilometers from the community. Maps are also broken down by method of travel, showing different extent of travel by snow machine and boat, for example.
Clouds and wind emerged as the most important environmental conditions to check before travel, and the place-specific indicators that Nunavut are looking for are not captured well in weather forecasts.
Ukiutaktungi anoge pimageoyu. Kaimarigo anoge atannakataunama ukiutaktunu. Umaturigangta kagat takatakuni amma ukiukku tisitite kattayasuni. Anogeo atannanningano ilesimayigo. Kaimatteavata anogeo miksano yovadana sauya tu kayusiguta.
When planning a trip while out on the land or when deciding to return home, most community members rely on their own observations of environmental conditions or on talking to others who are on the land or have just returned home. In terms of environmental forecasting services, Nunavut rely most on marine forecasts and satellite imagery when planning a trip. But the use of weather forecasts, ice charts, and tide tables varies according to community. Windy.com is one of the most popular sources of information used for wind and marine forecasts across all communities.
Across communities, the most common ways to access environmental forecast products were listening to community radio and going online with a personal computer. When accessing environmental forecast products, ICE services had the most consistent rate of challenges. Slow internet connection was one of the most common challenges indicated. In all communities except Iqaluit, cost was another major challenge to accessing products. Additionally, weather forecasts not being available in Inuktitut was identified as a challenge and often coincided with information being hard to interpret, listed as another challenge.
Yeah.
We make a travel decision based on the information we have, only to realize that it was inaccurate information and we can be putting ourselves or our lives and our families in danger.
The reality in Nunavut, we are losing many people to unreliable communication sources. As you can see, we live in a harsh environment. We need higher speed internet. We need more VHF repeaters. We need more cell phone towers. And we rely on this for on our lives.
I encourage young people like me to try new things like researching, getting to know the information about climate change. You gotta know your future. You gotta know what's changing, and you can pass it on to some other people that who hunts. It never hurts to try new things.